Hi, so I've been continuing on my project to be able to control this remote from my PC. I used GNU Radio to record the data at 432 megahertz, and I then started looking at that with in Spectrum. Based on that, I figured out that I wanted to have a more flexible thing. So what I did is I wrote a small Python script. It was pretty nice actually, because in the end, with a few lines of code, you can read the data, convert complex to amplitude signal, and then do some hysteresis. And what's pretty nice about this approach is that I can do some plotting in between, and the data doesn't move around, because using GNU Radio, I found it quite hard to see what was happening. So I first needed to do some experiments. So this is what I did, and this file spits out just some bits where it was high and low. So every just a bit train, I would say, of 528 high and then some low, and you will go on like this. This I generated using a script, and then I can go back in Spectrum in my generated signal, and if I send this to the air, I can control my remote. But now I'm trying to dive a bit deeper and understand what's really going on in the bits. If I, depending on the symbol time I take, if I just say like one of those peaks is a, if I see if I can zoom in, would be nice. Yeah, like this. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in like this, and if I say see like this, align this one, those ones. If I say yeah, this is nice alignment, I can do something like this, and I had a derived plot with a threshold, and if I then extract by symbol to start out, you'll get like 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 0. So that looks quite good actually. And if I plot that and look a bit more in the data, I'll this is typically a seq sequence, and if I split it to 60 bits or 8 bits, even better, then you really start seeing patterns. You'll see like repetition sometimes, but most of the time what happens, and I think that's for balancing, but I'm not quite sure. You've got 3 ones, a 0, and then a 1, and then 3 zeros. So overall, the DC in DC it should be an average of half of the thingies. So that looked quite good also, and I figured out perhaps it's a bit different. Perhaps let me try to draw this. Perhaps every bit starts high for bit synchronization, then there's a signal, and then it ends low. And overall, this would make sense for me for encoding, because you could when it goes high, you sync, and somewhere halfway you read the value out. So this would be a 0, this would be a 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 here, and so forth. But that's not the case, because, or it is, I don't know. Here it works quite well, and yeah. But if I go further in the signal, so this signal gets repeated 4 times or similar. Sending it 1 is already enough for the remote. But here something strange, more strange happens. I think is that this period there is no longer long and short keys, but it's like a repetition of 1s and 0, much faster one after the other. And I don't know if this is a firmware bug, or if it's really the expected value. The symbol time I think is still would be the same, but then well, like this, let's say. Yeah, this looks quite different from what I expect, and it doesn't look DC balanced, or so I don't know how to interpret this. So I can reproduce things, but I would like to get an idea for the encoding. Yeah, so if I could have some help, would be very nice. Anything else to show? No, I think that's it. All right.